The Finance Department is confident the country will not default on its loan deal with China in relation to the multi-billion peso Chico River Pump Irrigation project in Northern Luzon. This amid concerns raised by Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio that some loan provisions may actually allow China to take over areas which the country has rights in the West Philippine Sea.
We absolutely have not waived anything with regard to these properties. No collateral in any of our loan agreements. That means our creditors do not have any guarantee to any asset that we have. What we have agreed to is to go into an arbitration procedure.
China is shouldering at least 3.6 billion pesos in the irrigation project that will help thousands of farmers in Northern Luzon.
That the interest rate that we are paying is lower than, for instance, borrowing from multilateral development banks or borrowing from the private capital markets.
In a lecture last week, Carpio cites some loan provisions that waive the country's immunity in any arbitration should the country fail to pay. Carpio says the term patrimonial assets and assets dedicated to commercial use include the oil and gas rich Reed Bank.
I'm puzzled by Justice Carpio's statement because he himself penned a decision in 2002 stating that patrimonial properties are only those assets that the government or the legislature declares to having no public use or public purpose.
Carpio also questions the provision allowing China to conduct arbitration proceedings should either side fail to follow the terms of the loan agreement. The DOF admits the country has agreed to hold arbitration proceedings in Beijing.
That is standard, that it's the creditor country's laws that cover the loan agreement.
The Finance Department adds we can afford to take on the loans from China.
We are borrowing responsibly. That's the most important thing. 41.9% debt to GDP ratio. That means the size of our loans are very manageable relative to the size of the economy. And that also means we are able to pay our debts.
Malacanang echoes this statement and adds there's nothing wrong with natural resources as collateral to foreign loans.
I don't see anything wrong because I know it will never happen. You cannot also blame the lender if they will impose certain terms na pabor sa kanila. Tayo umuutang eh.
Despite concerns from numerous groups, the Finance Department says that the offer from China is the best deal we can get.
Well, it's hard to beat. We are confident that it's very difficult to match.
The government has 20 years to pay the loan from China. The Chico River Pump Irrigation project is one of the 2 projects with China, including the Kaliwa Dam, which will augment water supply for Metro Manila. Tristan Nodalo, CNN Philippines.